Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. And what I have in front of you is 2023 Chevrolet Corvette Stingray. Now this is the 8th generation of this, so you'll hear people call these C8s. I've reviewed a Corvette before. I've reviewed a C7, which obviously we know the Corvette 7th generation, Z06. That was one of my earlier videos. Probably don't watch that one because I said that's when I first started doing this YouTube car review thing. But I got a chance to really check and see how the Corvette, how they've improved. And they improved these cars quite a bit. And to give you an example, I've driven a C5, I've driven a C6, a C7, and now the C8. And after having the C8, I think since November of last year, I had quite a bit of time to spend with this car. I can tell you that it is nothing like the previous cars. This thing, it really does a lot of things well. For one, the looks. I think the looks set this car apart. It doesn't look like any other Corvette that I've seen, or any generation that I could look, I mean, maybe some other Corvettes, but it just looks different. It looks exotic. It looks like it can command that higher price point that these cars are. And you're gonna think, well, what's the price of these? What does the price of a C8 Corvette go for? Now they come in different trims. You know, your base trim is gonna be starting off at, I think, in the 60,000 range. And you're gonna think, wow, that's a great bargain, but hold on, hear me out. This one here, because you're looking at this car and you're thinking, looks great. This one is the top trim of the Stingray before we go up to the Z06. So this is gonna be called the 3LT. So they have what's called a 1LT, which is your entry level, and then you have a 2LT and then 3LT. So of this model year, the 2023, the 1LT did not come with a blind spot monitor. So if you're trying to find one that you use, just take that into consideration. You didn't have blind spot and you didn't have the camera for the rearview mirror, which I'll show that later. But you still get the looks. You still get everything else minus the chin spoiler. You get LED headlights. You don't get the side skirts or anything like that. That's all obviously added on. And some other things which I'll cover a little bit later. But overall, you still get the basic look. Now you're losing out on a few things. You get a better sound system once you start getting into higher trims. What I like about the car is that it just feels premium. It feels special. It feels unique, unlike any other Corvette I've driven. And this one has what's called, you've probably seen the side skirt, it has the Z51 package. And that's another package you can add on. There's so many different variations, so many different things you can do to these Corvettes. I highly doubt you can spec one of these cars and see another Corvette just like yours on the road. You may set something close, may set some same color, but Chevrolet gives you the option to customize a lot more. They're giving you more things to do, which they never done before in the past. You get to pick out your interior color, your seatbelt color. This color here is called Amplify Orange. You get to do orange seatbelts. They even ask you, do you want different brake caliper colors? You can do black, you can do, I think, orange, you can do red. This is called Red Mist on here. I think so it's not quite bright red, but it's a little bit darker red. Brake calipers. Like I said, you can mix and match any stuff you want, you know, and that's, I think, part of the experience of feeling like you're buying something exotic. So let's walk around the car. I can show you a few things. Like I said, the Z51 package gives you a few things. It's more of a performance package because it's all built for high sustained speeds driven hard. Think of it like a track day, autocross events, things like that, where it's going to be, you know, more stress. But you're going to get extra cooling with the car, a transmission cooler, an oil cooler. You're going to get electronic limited slip differential. I might be missing a few things. You're going to get a front lip spoiler. You're going to get, well, this is not the factory spoiler, this is a high wing, but you get a different spoiler when you get the Z51 package. With that said, your top speed is slightly lower, but your handling's better. I don't know how much weight, how much downforce is applied with these, with the Z51, but I know the handling is supposed to be much improved. If you're someone who enjoys, even if you don't track your car, if you're someone who enjoys just having fun on the street, taking corners hard, and just, I highly recommend it. In addition to the magnetic ride. And if you're familiar with the magnetic ride is, think of it like a configurable suspension system. So this suspension can adjust within milliseconds. And you can custom tailor your ride quality, what you like. You have anything from a soft, cushy ride up to a firm go-kart-like feel where you feel every bump in the road. And I never experienced mag ride before on a Corvette, because people call it mag ride. And coming from other sports cars, Honda Civic Type R, BMW M3, Lexus IS, I mean, I had a lot of sports cars in the past. This one has to be the most compliant sports car when you have it in the most comfortable mode, which is tour mode. It's almost like the car stays level and the wheels just bounce across the pavement, and the car just doesn't dip and fall in between these undulations. I'm amazed at how the ride quality is just, it's almost unbelievable, because sometimes I see other cars fall and move and dip into these other undulations in the road and dips and broken pavement. And sometimes you can hear it underneath the tires that just drop in the broken pavement, but then the car's just riding smooth. You flip over to track mode, and of course, track mode, you're feeling everything, but then track mode gives you that feel, okay? Now let's go into what's unique about this car. And like I said, if you're first time, if you don't know anything about the Corvette, if you're like, you know what, I just clicked on this, the car looked cool on a thumbnail, let me see about it. What's make this car special other than Corvette is the fact there's no engine in the front. The engine's in the mid, which mid-engine's typically sitting right up here, right on top of the rear axle. And why is this important? Why is this unique? First of all, it's unique because it gives it more of a sports car feel. But the next part about it is having the weight of the engine sitting right top of the tires gives it the best traction, which allows this car to achieve a 0 to 60. And I've seen what's published, I think it's 2.9 seconds. All right. Now this is at a 6.2 liter V8 pushing out 495 horsepower and 470 pound-feet of torque. This engine also is an 8-speed dual clutch, kind of a semi-automatic or semi-manual, automated manual transmission. So you don't get a clutch pedal, you don't get a gear shift, you have paddle shifters, but it is a actual gearbox with some clutches that engage, and it allows this car to shift quicker. It allows it to, first of all, achieve, and there's no room for error because the computer is controlling the gear shifts, the computer is controlling the clutches. If you're on a hill and you're just giving a little bit of gas, you can hear how the computer is adjusting the clutch so it doesn't just jerk, and it gives you the right amount of slip as you pull off. And of course, if you're using launch control, which this car does have with the Z51 package and the mag ride, launch control allows the computer to then rev it and then pretty much drop the clutch and go. The sound of this car is just unbelievable, because you're hearing it behind you. I feel a little bit more, obviously with the engine, there's an engine that's been used across other Chevrolet models like the Camaro and things. So I do get some Camaro vibes from the sound, but this is a really special car to drive. I guess I can't keep saying that over and over. All right. So let's talk about the tires up front. You're going to have 19-inch up front. It's a 245, 35, 19. There's different wheel options you can get. This one is just one of the wheels you can get with this 51 package. Excuse me. You're going to get larger brake calipers. Another thing, you're going to get larger brake rotors for more stopping capability. Also in here, you're going to have a little bit more. See this duct in here. I want to say could be an oil cooler or transmission cooler, but you have, in addition to with that, you have here, and you can see look how metallic this is. This is called a carbon flash, something you'll see on the Corvettes, which they've been doing. So you got carbon flash here. You're gonna have carbon flash on the rearview mirror. And then there's other places in the car, on the car, where they have carbon flash. And that's just what they're named for, this metallic look on some of the places. And you can see right there, there's a peak of the engine right there. And this is cool, you can option, this car doesn't have it, but you can get option and have some LED lights glow. So at nighttime, you're driving around at night and someone looks in the back, it like kind of shows the engine off a little bit. There's, in the back here, you have your 305 30/20. So like I said, it's 19 up front, it's a 20-inch in the rear. And like I said, there's different spoilers. There's a high wing spoiler. If you get the car, I think it comes with the low wing. And I think you option to the dealer to get the high wing spoiler. You have, also with the Z51 package, you have what's called the dual mode exhaust. With the dual mode exhaust, it means that you can have the car in a quieter mode or a louder mode. So between what setting you have, there's a custom, like an individual or custom mode, you call it My Mode. You can set up your suspension independent from the engine and the steering response, all configurable inside. But you can also, there's also presets such as what they call weather, which allows a car, if you're driving a car in the rain or something where you feel like it's a slippery surface, it'll allow it to sort of get more, less likely to spin the tires. And then there's another mode called Tour, which is more your most comfortable mode. And that's if you're just cruising on a road trip, you're not really driving fast, you just want something comfortable. You got your wife in the car, and they you want something, just a nice comfortable ride. That's going to do it, and it's going to give you the best fuel economy because it's less likely to downshift. I think the fuel mileage on this car is 16 city, 24 on the highway, but I think I've done better than that, and I contribute that to the cylinder deactivation. So when you're cruising like throttle, especially on a flat surface, it can switch over and do 4-cylinder mode, which is, like I said, you don't need to fire like 8 cylinders. You can switch over to that mode. You can come over here, you can see that you have a blind spot monitor, which comes when you get up to your 2LT package and above, you get that. And then you have the camera up here, which is not rear view camera, but it's for your rear view mirror. So the mirror can switch and actually be a camera on its own. So because I think that's very helpful, because when you're looking back inside here and you're driving and you look back, you don't see very much behind you. So having a digital camera that's actually showing you more without any obstructions, I think is helpful. Now, as far as body styles in this car, the car comes in 2 different body styles. It comes in what's called a hard top convertible and a coupe. The one you're looking at right now is a coupe. All the coupes come with a removable top, which I already have it off, and I can show you what it looks like, how to take it off. But you can get different types of top. You can have a color match top, you can have a black top, you can have a carbon fiber, I think, or carbon flash, I'm not sure, or you can get a transparent, and this car is equipped with a transparent top. So when you're inside, you kind of have an open air feeling because it has the transparent roof. I think that's pretty cool. The car obviously takes premium only, it's a capless fuel system. So you can see it right there, premium required. Do not cheap out on this. This engine needs every little bit of octane it has, especially with the compression ratio that it's running. So the tires are Michelin Pilot Sport 4S, and these are specific to the Corvette. So these tires are going to be run flat tires. If I go up here, you're gonna see that right there where it says zero pressure. It should say zero pressure right there. So that means it's a run flat tire. Corvette's been doing this for, I think, a couple of decades now with run flats, I think, with the technology. So it's nothing new that they're doing run flat, but it's nice to see. I didn't know that Michelin made a run flat with the Pilot Sport 4S. But I think that was part of the co-development with Michelin and Chevrolet to develop the tire. Obviously, manufacturers come together with tire companies to design kind of a spec tire that fits the car. All right, so when you get into the car, you'll see here you got this speaker grill. Now, depending on which trim you have, this is, like I said, this is the 3LT. So this is a higher end sound system. I'm gonna put the wattage here in the screen because I don't know top of my head. I don't want to just say a number if I don't really know. But this is the 3D Bose sound system. And then of course you have your memory seats. This is also for driver and passenger for memory. You have just kind of an aluminum trim here, and then you have automatic power windows for both the driver and passenger. If you have a convertible, you have an option to roll down the rear window in the convertible. And then you have your, this is how you open a door. This is your exit button, lock, unlock. And then of course you have your trunk, which I'll press that now, and your frunk, okay? Which I'll open that later. You got a button here to fold your mirrors in, power folding mirrors. And then you have, obviously adjustable for the mirror. This is also with the 3LT, you're gonna have leather everywhere, leather here, leather there. There's different colors you can get. Like I said, I can't go on about all the colors and configurations and mixed matches you can do, but let's get more into it. You got the door seal, it says Stingray right there. It's wider. You almost have to step into the car. It's not like you scooter, you almost have to put your foot in and step into the car as you sit down into it. And then you're in the car. Now on the steering wheel, you got these large paddle shifters. These things are big. You shouldn't miss any shifts with these because there's no way, like anywhere you put your hand, you should be able to feel the paddle shifter. Got the Corvette logo here, leather here again on the steering wheel, leather across the top of the steering wheel as well. And then of course you have this button called Z, which is kind of your sport, your Z mode. I think you can customize this mode, hit this button and quickly toggle your sporty settings, cruise control settings, no adaptive cruise control, none of that lane watch. This is a driver's car, okay? This is how you change your music, your songs. You click back on these and it changes your music, volume, same here. Phone, this has a heated steering wheel, like I said, leather wrap steering wheel. And then obviously your Bluetooth and your voice activations. When you go up here, this is a digital display. I'll turn the car on here in a little bit to show you the digital display as well as the screen here. And then of course up top you have your, this is a leather dashboard which only comes on 3LT. So 3LT gives you more of a premium, more of a special experience, especially sitting inside here. My first impression sitting inside here, I feel like I'm in a cockpit. First you got the bolster seats. These are the optional, they call it GT2 seats. So these seats, they hug you in place. They're almost like a racing style, but I found them very comfortable. I never had any complaints with these seats. There's a carbon fiber insert in here. And then of course you have, this one has an orange seatbelt. Like I said, you can customize your seatbelt color and kind of do what you want from there. You have a glove box, damp glove box, and like I said, memory seats on the passenger side. It kind of matches up what's back up here. And then up top you have home link, you have your OnStar controls, and then you have your motion sensor. So if you have somebody in here, say the top is off, you don't want the motion sensor to trigger anything, you can disable that here. You have, this is how you flip and turn on your digital rearview mirror, and then this is your settings, how you can play with your rearview mirror, okay? Vanity, dual vanity, wouldn't expect anything different in this car, especially when you're driving something like this, you want to look your best. You have automatic headlights. There's no automatic wipers in this, but I don't think nobody drives these in the rain. You know how Corvette owners are. They, we don't want to mess up the cars, so these don't really get in the rain. There's a heads-up display. This heads-up display also comes with, I want to say 2LT and above. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure 2LT has a heads-up display. And of course, you can change your brightness and some other stuff here. You get your parking brake down here. You can do your brightness of your instrument cluster down here. And then of course, you have aluminum pedals. There's aluminum dead pedal, and then there's your gas and brake, no clutch pedal with this one, because it doesn't need it. 2 cup holders right there. And then you have, if you notice, first thing, you probably saw this beam, structural, there's actually a structural beam here that Chevrolet designed. But I think that the way they integrated it with the car, I really like how they put that in place, because like I said, it just adds to the cockpit feel. And of course you have all your climate controls, your seat ventilation, heated seats, all that stuff is going to be right down this console. I know the C7s and stuff like that, you had some climate control for the passengers on this side, but They just kind of put everything in one row. Back here, there's obviously you have center console, and then there's a wireless charger right there. All right. All right, since I had the top off, you can see the top is stored here in the trunk area. And then there's your engine. There's a 6.2 V8. And like I said, I can take the top, I can click it off, but you can see it's not much room back here. Let me show you again. Maybe a golf bag or something. You have a little netting here, but you can see there's got the clips in for like just for the rear, sorry, for the roof to go inside and be, it's completely stable in there, secured. When you shut this, got a handle up here, and when you shut it, I just give it one swift pull, the handle, and if it's hard enough, it should catch it's a soft close, so once the latch catches it, it should close it automatically. So I'm gonna shut it, and then the mechanism, soft closure, closes it for you. Nothing much in here. You have, I got to see how much bag. It looks like you probably put one medium carry-on in here, and that's pretty much it you can do, or a couple backpacks. So not really a best weekend car, but, or maybe it could be a weekend car, that's pretty much it. Washer fluid can go in here, brake fluid there, and then in this port you have obviously a button in case someone gets trapped in here, they can get themselves out. There's light, and then this is a way you can plug in your trickle charger and trickle charge a car. So, you know, those times where you're not using the car for long, you know, 3 weeks, you can just leave it plugged in and keep the battery always charged up. This one doesn't have a soft close, so I had to just put it in here and gently shut the front here. Like I said, I got the LED, turn signals, LED headlights, LED daytime lights. So you got turn signal in there. And then you got the turn signal here. And then it does a little sequential in the rear. All right, so I got the top on. You can see what it looks like inside here with the top clipped on. And then, like I said, you can unclip it here. And then to start the car, I'll crank it up, fill in the brake. And you can see there's animation that shows. I wish I showed the spoiler on here to just give it a little more accuracy, but it's fine. Get the Corvette logo right there. That's just when you get in the car. If I press my foot on the brake and then start it, you'll see a different. So start button's right there. Ignore that, that's my radar detector. Turn the AC off.
GPS connected.
There's so many different settings you can do in here as far as getting what you want to see as far as information. It allows you to see all this stuff in here. You can see I'm just going to scroll through. I'm going to run through this really quickly. Like I said, I'm not sure that everybody wants to see all this stuff. We'll get to the drive here in a little bit. And then as you go through the modes, like now I'm in tour mode. If I go to the left, I go to my individual mode. And you can see what the setting is for engine sound, a little bit louder, brake feel. This has a brake-by-wire, so it feels a little different than your normal. It's a different feeling you get used to. And then of course you can see the heads-up display right there. I think you can see it. And you can see tour mode, what it does. Okay, I'm gonna go to sport mode. And you can look there. And sport mode gives you a tachometer right there inside the heads-up display. I don't know if you can see it there. Then you have one more mode, track mode. Track mode is your most aggressive one. And then of course, when you're in track mode, you can do launch control. I don't know if I covered this part yet, but you have options. This is how you change the gears in the car. You click up, you're in drive. You press P for park. You pull up for reverse. Press N for neutral. And if you want to go to manual mode, you go to drive. And you press N for manual, and then you have full control of the paddle. You can pull the paddle anytime you want, but putting in manual to make sure it locks and stays and doesn't flip back to automatic mode. You have options for your front camera. Pressing that front camera shows you these camera angles. You have, obviously, if I pull a rear camera, you can see you got the trajectory lines. It's really clear, crystal camera, and of course you got different views you can do here, wide angle, and then of course, if I go back to park, or if I put the front camera on, let's get the CarPlay, so you can see how you can see curb view, so I know exactly how close I'm pulling to a curb. I know what I'm doing with this. This mirror is a blind spot monitor. This is the only mirror that dims itself in conjunction with this if you have it. So this is what a traditional mirror looks like. And you can see what's behind you, but then you flip the switch, you have a clear view. I think it's worth getting into 2LT just for the mirror and the blind spot monitor alone, because you can see how much blind spot you have. If someone's back here, you really can't tell if there's anybody going to be right in your blind spot. And so I think that's just worth it on its own. But like I said, everybody has their own budget. Everybody has their own, you know, preferences and needs and things they can live about. So it's no big deal. But that's just my, if I could recommend something, I would recommend at least a 2LT and above. Of course, you got your home screen. You go back to home. This is like your typical, you got Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. You got different settings in here. You can do a few things in here. Like, you know, I got the vehicle PDR. You got teen driver, valley mode, seating position, power door locks, lighting. You can customize all this stuff here. Collision detection systems, blind spot, rear cross-check alert. This is where you can customize your mode, Z mode or visualization, how it looks. Buckle to drive, that's if I want the car to have the seatbelt on before it shifts out of gear. I put on mirror, I may just have it just a passenger tilt, but anyway, it's fine. I have the reverse tilt in here. And then, let's see. Obviously, it's, you know, the sound system in here, but if I would go to home, and let's see what else, there's PDR. And then you press OK, it's recording. But you can choose what you want. You can choose if you want the track overlay or timing. If you want timing, you can have all that stuff set up. So let me go back over here. At Sport, shows you speed, it shows you a few things. You can see all your recordings up here. So I know exactly what, like I said, this is recording up there. So you see your tachometer, you see your speed, your G-force meter, everything's showing right there. It's a clear camera too. You have shift lights up here. Well, it won't show me revs or anything like that, but you have the option there. And of course you can see the differential. You see how aggressive it's locking up. You can see the transmission temperature. There's different things you can do to monitor get some telemetry while you're racing on a track or just driving, like I said, aggressive on the street. The car has this Wi-Fi 4G LTE capability. So I think you could use that to stream if you need to or whatever you need to do. But anyway, let's take this out for a drive. So right now I'm in C8, I'm in track mode. And this thing, just the way it corners, it feels like I can never reach its limits on the street. I'm just gonna throw it here in this little curve. And that V8, that 6.2, that LT2, it's a familiar sound. If you drive Camaros and things, it's a familiar sound. But this car, that low speed, it just seems like it comes to life. It feels like it just wants to squat, but the suspension won't let it. You're just thrown back in your seat. And the engine makes all the right noises. For someone like me, I'm used to driving, you know, like my X5M, it had to have been at least 600 horsepower. And I'm not saying like this is an X5M competition, like this is gonna compete with it, but I'm used to that top end. They added these joints here. Now, mind you, I'm in track mode. Let me go to, there's a lot of traffic this way. Wait till these cars go. All right, if this is a straight stoplight, if he goes straight across, I'm gonna accelerate 0 to 60 here. This thing pulls so much authority up there. And I got a green indicator in the dashboard that's telling me it's in performance shift mode, so the car is ready for my next move. So say for example, I want to pass this car here, it's going to be ready for me. I can drive like a jerk, or I can just have some fun, you know? And like I said, that's me mashing. This car it just sticks. Let's try this again. I can feel as the car revs out, unless about 4,000 or 5,000 RPM, I can feel that it's being pushed back in the seat. I can feel the torque curve, definitely. Each time it changes gears, I'm pushed back my seat more. And it feels like it's not going to run out, but then it feels like I want more. I want more shove. I want this car to rev out more than 6.5 RPM. I want to be able to go to 8,000 RPM or 7.5, at least 7. And I don't get that. And I think this is probably where my needs is probably different for your needs, because you might say this is enough, and this car is enough for most people. Don't get me wrong. Let's go to sport mode and just see how that goes. And sport mode is not quite as aggressive, but you still have everything there. I mean, if I step on it from here, let me get another. Somebody's behind me. So sport mode, the wheels spun, and the traction control let it go for a second before it started to really, engage. But I was watching it, I could feel the car waiting for it. Most of the time traction control just grabs you right away and it holds the car at like 25% power until it thinks that it should be a safe release you. No, this car let it go for a while. I was surprised just now it let it spin and let it, a car should spin a little bit. Because you never know. Let me just take this turn here. I'm not going to slow down very much. Paddles responds well. Yeah, really quick responsive paddles. Like I said, the only difference in PDK is I won't be able to do this. Like usually by the time I press it in, it's already, before my hand comes off of it, no matter how fast I put my hand off, that PDK is already engaged. I might take this car up to somewhere else. My favorite road, but it's a little bit further away. I might make a special video for this, because I think I'll get more enjoyment this car in the curves. Yeah, it's got a straight line acceleration, but I feel like this is a better package in the handling department. I don't feel the front end weight, which is just an unusual feeling, because like I don't have much compared to what's been a Lamborghini Huracan, but I didn't get a chance to really put that on, really do his paces. I was renting it. It was on an unfamiliar road, and it wasn't in my element. So of course I'm going to be a little, scared. Plus, there's a big deposit in a Lamborghini. I don't want to, mess it up. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that. And see, right now the oil temp is 180 degrees. I mean, the car is staying cool. Let me go to the next stats and see what I have. Acceleration timer, huh? Let me see what the acceleration timer does. Oh, reset. Where's the check mark? I should compare the acceleration timer to my Draggy. Draggy's been proven to be accurate, but I don't know about these built-in acceleration timers. But yeah, I really like this car, but more and more I see about the Z06. That's just my needs. I feel like I probably should do a Z06 next. But don't get me wrong, I love everything about this. And also the Z51, you're gonna get a little better acceleration, because you're gonna have a little bit of a shorter final drive ratio. I think it's a 5.17 reaxle as opposed to 49. I don't know. I had to look at that again. I'm not gonna launch it. I'm just gonna accelerate. Spinning. I'm really starting to like it, like a lot. Where if I sold my F80 would I miss the F80? I like them both differently. If you're a Corvette person, Chevrolet person, not sure what I'm talking about F80, I'm talking about my BMW M3's 2016. It is tuned, has, you know, some extra power to it, and it's one of the cars I really just like, and I think this would be something that would be hard to replace, but I do like something like this, something that feels more purposeful. Let's see, to find a way to turn around. Look at this right here. It looks like a haunted house in front of me. The sound system is pretty good. I'm surprised how loud it goes because I've been cruising on the highway with the top off before, and I'm thinking, oh, my music's gonna be pretty much non-existent. And surprisingly, even crank the volume up, I'm still able to hear the music over all the wind noise. Windows down, top off, 70, 80 miles an hour, no problem. But you have all your luxury features. You got your heated ventilated seats. It's comfortable. I think that the interior is it gives it its upscale compared to what I've been used to in the past with the Corvettes. I can see why someone could cross-shock this between the supercar. Because yeah, for the money, for example, if I want to upgrade to a Z06, I'm looking at about $30,000 at least. The benefit is I get a new car warranty, spec the color I want, get everything I want in it, most of the time, unless I go crazy with options. But let's just say I have a budget between $130 and $150. I pretty much get a decently optioned, brand new Z06. But what does that price range open up me? I can get a nice 992 Carrera S Porsche. And the Carrera S's are no slouch. It would run with the Z06. I would say close in acceleration. It wouldn't beat it, but I think it would hold its own. But Porsche, I feel, is slightly more. Porsche is just a driver's car. With the Porsche, I'm gonna feel like I want to drive it all the time, everywhere. And with this car, I feel like I just want to cruise. But I can still have fun if I need to. Let me put this in tour just to see how calm this car. But yeah, that price, I mean, even McLaren 570S is in that price range. I used one in 2016. But the problem is with the McLaren is I'm not gonna have a warranty. McLaren may have a better name, but I'm not gonna have a warranty. It's gonna be a little older car. Obviously, you're not gonna have a CarPlay. McLarens just don't do that. I think with the new 750S, I think I've seen them do Apple CarPlay. But normally, you're not gonna have Apple CarPlay in that car. But it's McLaren. Signal. But that'll conclude this video. If you enjoyed it, give me a thumbs up, and subscribe for more car reviews or more car content. Thanks for watching.